Okay, a couple of I'll unpack that a little bit differently. I'll answer that question, but I'm going to add another clarification as well. One thing, if your glasses are expensive and if you've got a designer frame and a premium sort of lens, they might be $1,000 or they might be, $1,200 or $1,500. They could be a hell of a lot of money.
Mm.
You should include that on your home insurance policy as an extra item. You include cameras, you include phones, you should include your glasses if they are expensive. The other thing you should do is make sure you take a selfie, because often people want to know that they want to prove that you own this bit of jewelry or they want to prove that you own it. Then you should, if you've got rings that you're insuring, you should always take a photo with your ring and your face in the same shot, and time and date stamped. And if you've got glasses, then make sure you take a photo of that and keep a copy of your receipt. And that's going to help you in case something goes wrong catastrophically. Or we had a good pair of glasses the other day that the dog ate. Lenses are stuffed, frames stuffed, whole new pair of glasses, and not included on the home insurance, so the parents are having to pay for that.
Okay.
So, second thing is, how do we care for glasses? Well, there's a few things. Then not using solvents on them. If you've got stuff that's stuck on your glasses, you can come to see us and we can get it off. We use special lens safe and frame safe solvents. But there is one of those that we use, which is called CitroClean. And CitroClean is available in Woolies and Coles. And it's a great lens because it's an oil-based cleaner. If it touches frames, it doesn't damage them. It replaces oils in the frame. And it dissolves things that are stuck on and things that shouldn't be on lenses as well. But the vast majority of lenses don't have anything stick to them. If they're filthy dirty because you've splashed soup on them and they've got stuff all over them, then a soap and water, but cold water, not hot water. Soap, like foaming soap, is great. Just rub over the lenses and give them a rinse under cold water. Dry them with a tissue or a soft towel, and then polish them with a chamois. A chamois are the multi-coat cloths that we've got. Okay. Multi-coat cloths are microfibre cloths, and that's all you need if there's a smudge or a fingerprint on your glasses. So if I take my glasses off and put a fingerprint on them, or try to, I can just take that chamois dry and clean the lenses. And that's all I need to do. And if you miss a bit, you go back and use a new cloth or a new part of the cloth and go to another area. And that's it. If you've got something that's dirty, then soap, water, dry them with a tissue, polish them with the chamois. Multi-coat cloths are dry cloths. They're meant to be used dry. They're not meant to be used wet. So if you spray clean a multi-coated pair of glasses, which is what most people do, then you use that cloth. Any oils that are in that cloth are going to be leached out of the cloth and be deposited onto the lens.
Okay.
So that's not what you want. So what you want to do is clean them with soap and water. That's fine. Dry them with a tissue, and a tissue won't scratch them because they're wet. Don't use aloe vera tissues. Don't use eucalyptus tissues because they're covered in oil, which is bad, which is going to coat the lenses, and you can't get that stuff off. It's disastrous, especially the aloe vera ones. They're just horrible. And once you've dried the glasses, then any smudges or streaks that are left, you use the anti-reflective coat cloth, which are microfiber cloths, which we give all our patients, and you use that as a chamois at the end. And the way to think of it, it's a bit like your car. If you wouldn't wash your car dry, then don't wash your glasses dry. So if they got grit or sawdust or something on them, rinse them with some soap and then dry them off. The reason we don't recommend hot water when we're rinsing is lenses and coatings expand and contract with heat. And if you're using heat from hot water, you're going to expand the coating first and the lens second, and there can be a splitting or a damage or a separation between the coating and the lens. If they're well matched and well designed to each other, it generally doesn't happen, but it can happen, and it happens with cheaper products for sure. So no heat is a good reason, or a good rule of thumb to live by. And then the cloths is always a dry cloth at the end. And it's like using your chamois to finish the car. Most of the car is dry, but your chamois is the final bit to take off streaks and smears off your vehicle. So, and if you wouldn't wash your car with a dry bit of dirty t-shirt or dirty work shirt, don't clean your glasses with a dirty shirt or a dirty work shirt. Whatever's in that, from grinding sparks and grit to plaster dust, is going to be like sandpaper, or wet and dry sandpaper is the way to think of it, across your lenses, and you're going to scratch them. So always use the right products. If you wouldn't clean your camera with your shirt, don't clean your glasses with your shirt.
We chatted before about the change of weather up here in Queensland. We've had some hot days recently, and I've been spending a lot of time in the local community swimming pool, and I have seen like a number of people swimming with their sunglasses, So I was going to ask you, like, what's your take on pools and chlorine and sunglasses? Is it really something that's going to be disastrous, or something that we could maybe get away with a bit of a rinse and a wipe?
I think it's something you've got to be careful with. What I tend to do for most people that wear prescription is we just sort of recommend and we sell prescription swimming goggles.
Okay.
They can be tinted or clear, takes all the stress out of it, and then you can see and you can go underwater and it doesn't matter if they get wet and they're chlorine safe. If you have your normal glasses if they have metal parts in them, those metal parts can get verdigris or rust. So that's a bad thing. So you've got to be super careful cleaning them off after, especially if it's a saltwater pool. If it's a freshwater one with chlorine, then you've got to be careful of the chlorine leaching chemicals and color out of your acetate frames, because acetate frames um, they don't like being put into caustic things, and chlorine is a caustic cleaner in a caustic environment, so it will damage your plastic frames for sure, and it can corrode your metal frames. So be a little careful. If you got your cheap, what did we used to go to the pool with? We used to go to the pool with our cruddy 4X branded giveaway sunglasses they used to give away with the carton of beer at the bottle. So they're fine. Don't worry about those. They'll be fine in the pool. I have worn my pure titanium silhouettes in the pool, and for them it's just a piece of titanium. It's not going to react. It's okay, and I could wear those and get splashed, and I know they're not going to corrode. But most frames are not pure titanium. Most frames are an alloy of some sort, and they've got a mixture of metals, and any of those metals could react to the chlorine or the pH of the pool.
All right, Martin. Well, it's been a gold mine of information as per usual, chatting with you. And I could go on for a bit longer, but all good things must come to an end. Before we wrap up,
Absolutely.
is there anything else that you'd like to add for people thinking about upgrading their lenses? What are some things that people should consider when they're going through this thought process?
I think you've got to look at your budget and you've got to look at what your needs are. So the first thing that I recommend for people is we need to talk to you. We need to find out what your needs are, what your requirements are, and then we try and work out what we would recommend in those circumstances. Because at the end of the day, the frame is one thing, but the lenses are critical, because the lenses are going to make you see, to do your job, to do this, to do that. There are lenses that I can't give to someone as a safety glass. There are lenses that I shouldn't give for someone that works in an office. There are lenses that I shouldn't give for someone that works as a plasterer, for example. So there are things that are career based or job based or requirement based. The things to think about are you happy with what you've got? And that comes back to, if you're coping really well with what you've already got, do we need to go above that? And the answer is not necessarily. If you've had lenses that you've tried, and that's probably a good segue. We've had a few people lately that have come in saying, I can't wear a multifocal. I've tried over and over again. They're horrible. I can't wear them. And we take that as a challenge. So what could we do to make that person get a successful wear? And there are ways of doing that from an individualization. So we take computerized tower measurements of every aspect of the eye. So where the eye sits above the frame, how wrapped the frame is, how tilted the frame is against your cheek, and how far away the back of the eye is from the frame as well. All of that's taken with multiple camera measurements as well. And when we do that and we pitch that with a premium lens, and when they come to pick them up, you can see their smile on their face, are saying, I can see, and it's not moving, and I can read, and I've never had this before. And yet they've tried a number of different multifocal lenses. So if someone's had that experience, then we would not muck about with an entry point lens. We'd go for something that's going to solve nearly every problem that we can imagine, and we go to that premium lens. And those patients are super impressed, super happy, which is amazing. But that's what I said. We've got to tailor these things to people. Like, we had someone the other day that's on a pension. They get concession help for their glasses. They don't want to spend a fortune on their glasses, and we've got entry point products for that purpose, and they're good, solid lenses. And if I'm not happy with the lens that comes from a company, I stop using it and I go to a different company and get a different lens. So I think it's all about matching what the requirements are for the person, and your requirements as a pensioner might be very different to your requirements as a nurse working a shift or a specialist doing a clinic, because the requirements are different than what we would suggest as a lens option would be different as well. That personal tailorization, I think, is important. The same way we talk about personal curation of frames and advice in that regard, the lenses are just the next extension of that, and it's all part of the whole process.